Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today we're going to be talking about the different tiers of knives as seen from my eyes. Now, this video might be a little controversial, but what the heck, most of my channel is. But these are just my opinions, yours may differ. Beat me up in the comments, I don't care. But basically what I want to go through and give a couple examples of is the different tiers of knives. You know, you got your gas station knives, you got your budget knives, you got your quality knives, you got your what the fuck knives, your WTF knives, and then you got your custom knives, which in my opinion can fall into any one of those categories. So let's get this started with the cheap knives. These are the gas station knives. I'm going to try to give two examples of each, except for the customs, because I really don't have any customs. I have my customs, so maybe I'll use those. But first off, we got your I hate to say it, but Ned Foss. This is a budget ass, stupid, 3CR, 7CR, whatever. Just a shitty gas station knife. These things, you can literally go to any truck stop and buy one of these for overpriced, in my opinion. And they're still like 20 bucks. And so that's one. Another one is one I picked up today, is this freaking thing. I was at a store and it was $14. How could I not buy it? And just because these knives fall into this category doesn't necessarily mean they're terrible, I guess. They all serve their purpose. $14, I'm gonna beat the living snot out of this thing. But I could not buy it. But these are your cheap knives. These are your gas station knives. These are your crappy steel, questionable heat treat. They typically are made in China, but not all bad knives are made in China. Not all good knives are made in the USA. To say that Chinese knives are crap and American knives are the best, is stereotyping, and we all know stereotyping is wrong. You can get some good stuff out of China and you can get some absolute garbage out of USA. But so yeah, these are just a couple examples of gas station cheapos that they're just not that good. But whatever. Let's move to the next one. Next on the chopping block is going to be our budget knives. These are knives that are higher in value but still low in cost. You buy them and they're a decent knife for what you paid for it. And I have a couple examples here. First off, the Ontario lines. This is the Ontario SP6 biting knife. These things were like 50 bucks or something like that, and for that you're getting a 3/16 inch thick 1075 made in USA blade. That's a pretty damn good blade. The sheath that usually comes with these budget higher value knives, I call them higher value because this is a good knife and it was very cheap. But the sheaths usually suck. I made my own for this one. But another example of that is this charade. Now, I'm not saying all charade, but this charade right here is, a 8CR 13 MOV, but it's a 1/4 inch thick. It's a big knife. And, for the 50 bucks that they cost, you're getting a lot of value right there. You're getting a lot of knife to go out and into the woods and beat stuff up and have fun with. And if you break it or lose it, you're really not out that much. And as younger people getting into the knives and stuff like that, these are great because they're not garbage. They're good knives, for what you pay for them. Is it going to be a ZT? No. But is it going to be a decent knife and cut and you might just have to sharpen it a couple more times? Probably. So yeah, these are our budget knives. Higher value, low cost. Next up is going to be our all-around good knives. These are going to be what I consider quality knives. Quality workmanship, quality materials, good fit and finish, good customer service from the company, reputable company, stuff like that. Just a quality knife. So the first one I got here, and it's just one I grabbed. There's a lot of knives that fall into this range, but I just picked the Moccasin Ranger because it was right there. This is a good example of something that's not crazy overly expensive, but you're getting a 1/4 inch slab, a 1095 with a good heat treat from a reputable company with nice, materials used, and you know, decent sheath in this case, not all tops, but you know, even Essies kind of fall into this range. Everybody says Essie's overpriced, but I really don't feel them to be overpriced. I think you are paying for a quality company and a quality warranty, which makes a big difference. I want a company to stand behind their knives. And yeah, so this is one example. Another example, this one I just recently purchased, is the Master Hunter in 3V. This is made in Taiwan. Another example of just because it's not made in the US doesn't make it not a good knife. This is a fantastic knife. Now, did it have a couple problems when it came? Yeah, I think that was this one specific, because I also have the VG1 San Mai and it came perfect. So, but this is another example of a very not expensive, but what you get what you pay for, good knife. And I think these knives are good candidates to qualify into a quality knife. Most of Cold Steel stuff, in my opinion, is quality. Yes, they do have a crappier line, and if you buy a shitty knife from Cold Steel and you think that's the whole company, you're a moron. They make good stuff. Tops makes good stuff. SE makes good stuff. Buck makes some good stuff. It doesn't matter. You got to base it on how much it costs versus what you're getting for it. And I think these two right here, you're getting what you paid for. They're good stuff. Up next is what I'm going to call the WTF knives. What the fuck? What the fuck were you thinking when you freaking priced this knife? And this one's gonna piss some people off, like it always does, because we got some tender buckies out there. But the Buck 124 Frontiersman is an overpriced knife. For what you're getting for 200 bucks, it's not worth it in my opinion. And it's gonna hurt some people, but I do think this falls into a WTF knife. This is a overpriced piece of 420 HC and some aluminum. I mean, it's just not that fancy, and it's very expensive for what it is. And also the ZT 00006. This thing is a $325 knife. For what you're getting is a slab of, you know, I mean, it's good. They're both good, but they're very overpriced. I mean, for the 320 bucks you're paying for this before taxes, you can go down and get two Essies with lifetime warranties. You can get an Essie in 1095 and S35VN. That is great knives, and those would fall into the quality knives. You know, these are just kind of overpriced, and you know what? I have more than just these, but I just told myself I'm going to bring out two for each category. But I just feel these knives are overpriced, and that's the next category I'm going to call the WTF category. Then after that, we have the category that I'm going to call custom knives. Now, I don't really have any custom knives, but I have knives that I've customized, and I think it'll kind of show my point what I'm talking about anyways. But custom knives. These are two what I would consider custom knives because I customized them both. This is a Cold Steel Trailmaster and a Ontario SP5, both rehandled by me. But when it comes to custom knife makers, they all charge, well, I can't say all of them, but a lot of them charge a lot. And I understand because a lot of work just went into these just to do what I did, and it's not much. But custom knives fall into any one of these categories. You can find a custom maker, there's a few on YouTube actually, that their knives will fall into the gas station knives. Cheap crap knives. And then there's other knives that fall into quality and budget and what the fuck. You know, when you get a knife that, you look at some of these custom makers and they're selling just a frickin' knife, you know, for $1,200 frickin' dollars. That's just retarded. That's just retarded in my opinion. I don't see the value there. So, you know, a custom knife can fall into any category. What would these fall into? You know, this is a $50 knife. How much would it be worth now? Because I put a handle on it. Is that a $1,000 knife? Not a freaking chance. This Cold Steel Trailmaster, now that it's got a leather stacked handle. It's a one-of-a-kind. Both of these are one-of-a-kind pieces. There's no two other knives out there like this. Are these $1,000 knives now? No. No, they're not. It's a Trailmaster and an SP10. You know, there's nothing fancy about them. But, or not an SP10, an SP5. But anyways, that's all I got for you today. This is just a little kind of thing I just kind of thought up of, and don't know what else to say other than thanks for watching.